All right, what's happening, everybody? Good to see you all. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday or had a good Sunday for my overseas friends. Just gonna let the thing breathe here for a second, make sure we're firing off in every way we can right now. Talk to me in the chat. Let me know who's here. What's going on with you? We got Charlene in here. Good evening, tribe. Your number one cheerleader from South Africa here. Yes, absolutely, number one cheerleader from South Africa. Good evening to you. It is the early afternoon here. It's only 12:30 p.m. Good evening, Maxwell. Good to see you, Charlene. How you doing over there? What's going on? How's your day today? Nice to see you all. Be here with you all. Just getting everything fired up here. But yeah, we got a good day ahead of us here on the stream. We'll see where everything goes. It's been a pretty busy time on these streams lately, and had some pretty moving things happen in the last stream. It's been really awesome. Hope everyone's manifestations are going well. Let me know if you have any synchronicities or little nuggets or breadcrumbs, or noticing that you're feeling different from the meditations we've been doing, the imagination techniques, about someone complimenting what we're wearing. If there's any synchronicities or little breadcrumbs that have happened with that, please don't be afraid to share it, even if it's a tiny little thing. I would love to hear it. That's how we start gaining momentum on all the synchronicities, is noticing them when they happen. So, Hario's here. Hey, my friend. Hello, Hario. How are you, dude? How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Simply Learn. We're back. What's up? Hi, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're doing well, too. How's it going over there in India? Good to see you again, Simply Learn. Hope all's well with you. Hario, hope everything's going good with you, too. With all the content or the leadership that you're wanting to put out in the world. I'm excited for that journey for you. But yeah, good to see you guys. We got everything up in here. We got that. Yeah. So yeah, plenty on the agenda today. Just gonna kind of let everything breathe. We'll do some more meditation and manifestation, just practicing it and continuing onwards. If you guys have not been reminded to do your manifestation technique, Neville Goddard, that we do in these meditations before bed, then this gives you an opportunity to do that, and you're still gonna be getting that time in for yourselves towards that manifestation. So it's gonna be fun to see how it all goes. I'm healing because of you guys. Thanks again. You're all very kind. Yeah, so are you, man. We're just reflections of your own kindness. So you're very welcome. Glad you're healing up. Hopefully some new little actions are coming, little baby step actions for yourself in your life are taking place. Had a lovely day, thank you. How have you been, Max? I am busy purging my house. Nice, some spring cleaning down there. Literally and figuratively. Okay, yeah. The house of your human body. Had a skippy bin for the weekend. Threw out so many stuff I'm not using anymore. A skippy bin, what a fun little term that is. That just must mean you're throwing everything out. That's fun. Yeah, it feels good. It feels really good to declutter and throw out the old and bring in the new energies of everything. So that's awesome to hear. Woo! Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like a little slow going myself today. Feel like I need to be cleaning out my internal closet as well of some things. Kind of got the spring little like sniffles going on right now. But yeah, all's well here. Thank you for asking. all is well. Just continuing to chug along, figure some things out, restructure some things, and do what I can to have some fun. I haven't really been out in public giving myself a chance to get complimented outside of the gym, where I normally just wear the same thing every single time. So need to get out in front of people a little bit. But the time will come. Hi there, Simply Learn. So nice to see you back in the stream. Was thinking about you. Sent you a lot of love and positivity. Thank you, Charlene. Really appreciate that. Thanks for doing that. Yep, good to see Simply Learn back here for sure. Yep, all's well here. Just gotta lower this for a second. There we go. So hope you guys' manifestations, everything's going well for you. Let me know if you have any questions about anything in regards to the synchronicities or the manifestation we're all playing with, allowing the game we're playing. Something simple, like just getting that compliment on what we're wearing. My pleasure, Troopy. Guess you were thinking deep down in your heart. That's why Jesus connected us again. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, love to hear it. Love to see it. So the version of you who has it, right, with our manifestations, with what we're playing around with the compliment, the version of you that already has that happened is behaving differently than you and I are currently behaving. So that's how we start making the connection with that version of us that already has got complimented on what we're wearing or anything else that we're wanting to create in our lives. The version of you who already has manifested is thinking about things differently, is going about life differently, behaving differently, thinking differently, walking differently, talking differently, because it's already been manifested for them. So our job, from our current standpoint, is to connect with that version of us who's thinking those thoughts, who's walking and talking with a different cadence, who has a little more optimism, who's already satisfied, appreciative, and grateful that the manifestation already happened. That's what we need to start connecting with, because that version of us exists in real time. It's not somewhere out there etherically or out there in the quantum. It's literally a physical version of you existing right now that already has everything that you want, that already has gotten complimented on that thing. So start feeling that sense of flattery now. Start feeling that sense of anticipation and gratitude and appreciation for that person who gave you the compliment on what you're wearing. Start feeling that now, connecting with the version of you that has already experienced that in their life. Because that version of you exists physically. And once you start doing that, you really start moving and drawing that reality closer and closer to you. And will actually end up speeding things up. Not that that's your intention when you do it. You don't want to have the intention ever to like, oh, I need to speed this manifestation up, because then you start putting deadlines and timelines and things like that then add a lot of resistance when you're trying to get it by a certain time, because then you're looking around and being anxious about it. the version of you that already has the thing manifested isn't anxious at all because it's already manifested. So we're just finding a way to meet the consciousness of that version of us. That's all we really have to do. Because that version, again, who has it, thinks differently about the situation, is thinking differently, is experiencing differently. So you just need to compare your current self to your linear perception of your future self. Even though it's not really a future self from our linear time frame, the way we experience time, it would seem to be in the future. So you're just starting to make comparisons of the version of you that is current right now, what you're thinking, and compare and contrast it to what the future self of you is thinking and experiencing and feeling now that, they've already received the compliment or whatever you're wanting to manifest, but just playing around with the game that we're playing with. So play a game with that as well. Have fun with that as well. Start intentionally in your meditation or just sometime during your day, having little moments to connect with your future self. And you can ask him or her questions like why are you feeling the way you're feeling right now? What did you have to feel, and what did you have to do? What did you have to imagine? What actions did you take in order to allow the manifestation to take place for you? And just start asking it the questions and be open to the answer. It might not happen right away. It might happen immediately. I suggest you clear your mind first so you're not, because the clearer your mind and the more relaxed your mind is, the harder it is for doubt to start creeping in about anything that you receive from that future version of yourself that already has the thing that you want to have, that already has experience getting the compliment on what they're wearing for our little fun game and experiment. So in essence, the version of you who already has what you want would not be thinking the thoughts that you're thinking right now in our current state. So we just need to start asking, what thoughts are you thinking, future self? What thoughts are you thinking now that this has happened? Just what are the thoughts? And what are the feelings? What are the sensations? How are you moving about space? What are you doing? What are you thinking? And then once we start lining up with and trusting the thoughts that we receive from our future self and start thinking those and feeling those to be real and true and believing it for us, then we'll have the gentle or intense, fun-loving anticipation of the manifestation coming to pass. We won't even need it to come to pass before we feel appreciation for it, which is the best part. We're just acting in joy because that's our state of being that we prefer to be in. And because we're doing that, then we're lining up with that version of us who is also in a state of joy because it received the manifestation that it desires. Does that make sense? Let me know if you guys have any questions about that. But that's just going to help you along the train, along the pathway for what we're doing here. More like an autumn clean, Max. Oh, really? Is it fall over there? I have no idea what seasons are going on around the world. I don't even know how any of that works. I'm so ignorant to it, so I apologize. Although it's spring here, maybe it's autumn over there. Because we call it spring cleaning over here. Manifesting a cleaner house, life, mind, and heart. Love that. Well, this is my second time in your live. Yep. I just want you to know, bro, I just want to know about you, bro. Oh, okay. I just want to know about you, bro. Where are you from? And what's your second favorite thing? I know the first one is radiating positivity. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. So I live in Colorado over here in America. Beautiful, beautiful Colorado, filled with mountains, forests, animals, things like that, things that I love. So I'd say my second favorite thing is just being out in nature, whether it's hiking or camping or backpacking, hunting, fishing. I love doing all those kinds of things. I love being outside. I love being out in nature. Disconnected from the world and from everything. I'm playing around with balancing all the online stuff that I'm doing with what I'm creating here with the live streams and YouTube videos and shorts and all the future content that I know I'm going to be doing soon. Balancing that with my love of nature and just what does that look like, and how can I still be productive in what I'm doing here and doing enough where I feel like I'm doing my part with the actions I need to take in the technological space for continuing to grow this community and family and movement and so on, and balancing that with the time that I need to completely disconnect in nature, not think about any of these things, just enjoy my time and be with myself out there and enjoy that just for its own sake, not needing to get anything out of it except that I like doing that. And then the other thing, my third favorite thing, is golf. I love golf. That's my favorite hobby. I just love being out there. It's fun, challenging game. I think it teaches you a lot about your inner state of being, how you react when you have a bad shot, and things like that. It tells you a lot about your current state of being when you're not playing well in golf. But again, you're outdoors, you're doing something active, it's beautiful. Play with friends, have a couple of drinks. It's just a blast. So yeah, that's kind of what I like to do, Simply Learn. I appreciate the question. Yes, it's fall, just upside down from you, on the other side of the world, yet connected here and in spirit. Oh, you're so sweet. It's so true. Oh, that was very kind the way you put that, Troopy. That's so weird though, like how, like for my brain, the fact that fall for you is in March and April, I just can't wrap my head around that, which means winter is in like June, July, August, and September, and then summer is October, November, December, and January? Do I have that right? I mean, I guess that would be kind of how that goes. And that's just the trippiest thing ever to me. There's so much that I do not know. Like I've only been out of America once, and that was to Canada, which hardly counts. Man. Yeah, that's a trip to think about, Charlene, I tell you what. I'm also a nature person. I love to be out there. South Africa is a lovely country. I live in Potchefstroom. Potchefstroom? Oh, or Potchefstroom. I see Pot, Chef, and Stroom. Potchefstroom. In the Northwest Province. I'm going to look it up. 100% Maxwell. Yes, always a hot Christmas here. Yeah, like celebrating Christmas in the summer. Like December is for me always, it's snow, it's this and that. But I mean, there's places in America that don't get snow. Plenty of them that don't get snow and are pretty hot in December too. So I guess it's not that different in that sense. But still strange. Hey, oh boy, you should come visit. I'd love to. I would love to. I know, I got friends all over the world now I can visit. It really is like an awesome opportunity. I have friends all over the world from my previous life in New York City as well. But now I have so many even more friends on this now. But yeah, I would love to come visit. Have you ever heard about Deviliers? Deviliers? No, what is that? What in the world is that? Is that food? Pot like a pot, chef like a chef, and stream as in stream. Oh, okay. So, pot chef stream. 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 Yeah, I have a friend from Pot Chef Stream. She's really cool. South Africa. South African. Pot Chef Stream. I got it. I got it. Okay, Ab is a legend. He is an awesome cricket player. Oh yeah, I have no clue about cricket. But seems like a pretty fun sport to watch. Probably more fun to play. But yeah, cricket is not too popular over here. I've never seen or been to a cricket game. I really know nothing about cricket. But you have to make the stream Afrikaans stroom. I'm not sure I understand. Pashefstream. Pashefstream. Pashefstream, man. You're not Jamaican. But yeah, when you say Afrikaans, that's what that sounds like. Afrikaans. Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look that up. Gotta check it out. Can look it up right now, actually. How did you spell that? Let's see where old Charlene's living. What? Chef. Stroom. South Africa. There it is. Oh, wow. It's pretty cool land, open land. Some giraffes. You got some giraffes down there? That's what's popping up here. Let's see here. Historic city, South Africa's northwest province, known for a strong academic presence. Rich history. Things to do. Walk the oak-lined Steve Biko Street. Visit the museum. Enjoy nature. Well, there you go. Yeah, it looks pretty. Such a different land. Boy, I bet it's just scorching hot there a lot of the time, though, huh? Oh, it looks pretty. You got windmills. Yeah, it's just nice and open. You could see for days out there. You could see for miles and miles and miles. Right on, cool. It's good to get perspective on all that. That's awesome. That's really cool. Right on. Pot Chef Shroom. Very cool. Love to see it. Love to see it. But yeah, things are warming up over here too. Warming up inside my own self. I think this summer's going to open up a lot of opportunities for the channel and for more content creation for me. So that'll be a joy, showing you guys even more places around where I'm currently living. Give you a taste of it, show you more of the mountains and things that I do around here. Maybe take you on some golf as well. Some golf wisdom. Golf with a little bit of wisdom. I think that could be fun. We have all kinds of animals. Yeah, I bet. Giraffes and elephants and lots of little critters. Yeah, we have probably not as many animals, not nearly as many animals as you have. We have elk and mule deer. We have turkeys and grouse and rabbits, chipmunks and squirrels, lots of birds, eagles and hawks, prairie dogs, mountain lions, black bears, coyotes, bobcats. I think that about sums it up. There's a few more here and there. But yeah, it's a mountainous sort of vibe of the animals and creatures that we have here. But there's a lot of cool creatures here too to see. I mean, elk are just magnificent creatures. They're my fave. But the bears and mountain lions you gotta look out for. We have wolves now too, which is kind of unfortunate. Colorado implanted them. Reznov, what's up? How's it going, my friend? How you doing today? Good to see you here again. How's everything going? Have you read about the Jadoo? No, I haven't yet. It's on my list. It is on my list though. Just haven't had the chance yet to, my friend. But I will. I promise you I will. Because I'm excited. It sounds really cool. All those different laws and everything, right? All right. Yeah, a whole lot of different things to discover with that. I'm excited. What have you been reading lately? The Jadoo, or you been reading some other things lately? I appreciate you guys all being here. So let's all just... Oh, hang on. All caught up with the chat now. Had to rewind and speed up to... Oh, to get live. Oh, I see. Yep, it's all good. It's all good. We're all here. We're live. Test 1, 2. Yep, we got Reznov here. Appreciate everyone saying hello to each other. Alright, so who in the chat feels like they've been kind of addicted to struggle, either right now or the past? Is that something that you guys are letting go of? That addiction to struggle? Where you feel like everything needs to be a grind, everything needs to be a rat race. You have to work harder than anybody else. Things of that nature that feel like you have to force and push, struggle and strive and sacrifice in order to get things done, in order to do the things that you want to. Because that has been one of my greatest journeys, especially being from over here in the West, where it's all about leaving a legacy and building empires and businesses and things of that nature. It really ties up on everything. Let me know how you guys are feeling about that, but I feel like that could be a good topic of conversation for today. I could tell you about some of my New York experience and so on with that, and how I kind of ended up in that space of being addicted to the struggle and feeling like struggle is the only thing that allows change and progress. What are your opinions on what if intrusive thoughts, how you handle it, brother? Yeah, so when intrusive thoughts come in, where they seem intrusive, they seem like they're not who you are, they don't feel good. First of all, just let the fact that they don't feel good be a signal to you that they aren't good for you to think about? If it doesn't feel good, then it's not good, in my opinion. From my perspective, what I've learned, I used to always think that if a thought feels good and brings pleasure or just brings like satisfaction, that was like from the devil or something like that. That's how, that's how a lot of Christians and those kind of believers think that, if you have a good, like good feeling thought or things are feeling good or pleasurable, like watch out, because that could be the devil trying to rope you in. So I had to let go of those kinds of beliefs. But when you have those intrusive thoughts, just neutralize them, because you're having a response to them because it's not actually who you are. When you have that negative response, that feeling inside you that just feels gross and like it's not you, it doesn't suit you, that's your actual inner guidance system. That's your higher self, your God self, your larger self, letting you know that you just had a thought that is different than how Source and God is actually thinking about you and thinking about that situation. Whatever the intrusive thought is, whether it's about you or about another person or about a situation or circumstance going on in your life, the fact that it felt negative when you thought about it is your source self, is your God self, is God letting you know that you just had a thought that differs from the way God actually thinks about you and thinks about that situation. That's the quickest way to neutralize it, and it's a great question, because those intrusive thoughts are so tricky, and they are very, very conniving, and they're good at convincing us that what we're feeling, and that those thoughts, when we have them and we feel them, that they're actually the truth and we actually need to give them attention, when we actually don't. There's no rule, there's no one truth that says if you have a thought, even if it feels bad and intrusive and like you need to give it attention, that must be the case. So I think the quickest way to neutralize it is just to realize when you have a thought and it doesn't feel good, then that's a different thought than God has about you. And why would you want to have a different thought than what God has about you and what God has about that situation? And then it just gives you an opportunity to find the thought that God actually has about this situation, and not that your human mind, your human perspective, your ego mind has about this situation or about yourself. So it's just an opportunity to navigate that thought, that intrusive thought, by asking yourself, what would I have to believe to be true about myself to have this thought and to have this feeling from this thought about this situation or about myself? What would I have to believe to be true about myself or about this situation? That's also another way that I would say that's like step 2. Is to ask yourself that question. What would I have to believe about myself or about this situation to be true in order to be having this emotional response? What would I have to believe to be true? Because it's all about what you're believing. You're buying into those intrusive thoughts when you feel negative about them, when you start taking action on those, when you start worrying or having anxiety about it. You're actually buying into the truth of those intrusive thoughts, even when they feel negative. Because some part of you, unconsciously, subconsciously, or consciously, feels that it's more beneficial to think about and give attention to those intrusive thoughts than it is to give your attention to thoughts that God has about you, about that situation, and so on and so forth. So when you recognize kind of all 3 of those things, all those 3 of those steps, then you can deal with it consciously and not unconsciously. Then you're not trying to self-medicate to get rid of the thoughts. You're not trying to distract yourself with social media or doom scrolling or doing something that isn't really who you are, or just distracting yourself with working yourself to death so that you don't have those thoughts creep in. A lot of people do that, especially over where I live. A lot of people overwork themselves and keep themselves busy because they know when they stop that those intrusive thoughts start coming in, and they don't know how to deal with them. They don't know what to do with them. And so they just work themselves to death their entire lives, never dealing with it. And they're always carrying around that baggage that isn't theirs. So does that kind of answer your question, Reznov? Let me know where that lands with you, my friend, if that makes sense. If you want me to expand on one of the things that I said, I'd be happy to. But it's a great question. It's a great question. So let me know where that lands, all right? You guys saying hello? Oh, for sure. Had the belief that everything had to be sacrificed. You had to work hard to get somewhere. Had been killing myself for the past 20 years to get ahead. Yeah, but now my thought patterns are changing. Life is easy. Life should be easy and fun. Yep. The grind was the main thing every day. Reality that life is easier than you think. Right, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Glad that's making sense to you, Rez. Thanks for guiding. You're very welcome. My pleasure. It's what I do. It's what I do. It's who I am. So happy to do it anytime. Anytime. But yeah, back to the struggle, because I think that's probably where a lot of those intrusive thoughts come to is thinking that we need to struggle and sacrifice. And I still deal with this from time to time. Even when I'm building this, I'm like, God, am I doing enough? Am I working hard enough? Am I taking enough actions? The question that I need to be asking myself is, am I taking enough aligned actions? Which sometimes I feel like I might be sacrificing, for example, time in nature for time that I think I need to be working on this business and this endeavor of putting this content out and sharing my voice this way. Even though I'm passionate about it and I really love it, I think for me I need to find that balance as well. From which state are you? Colorado. Max is in Montana, right? No, pretty close. Montana's similar. It's pretty similar to Colorado. I haven't been to Montana before, but Colorado. One of the four corner states. You heard of the four corner states over here in America? It's in the mountain region of America. Some people like to call it the Midwest, but it's not the Midwest. Not really. Someone was asking what my accent or what my dialect was. I would say it's like a Midwestern, I guess, dialect. Because it's like that Middle West America. But it's the mountain region is what it's actually called. The mountain region of America. Colorado. Four corner states. Most beautiful state in America. Yep, Utah's another four corner state. Yep, right to the west of us. Utah's really cool and pretty too. I love the Four Corners. Like New Mexico, my dad was born and raised in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Have you guys heard of Santa Fe, New Mexico? I'm only 2.5 hours from Santa Fe, New Mexico, from where I live. So I grew up going to Santa Fe all the time, a whole bunch. And so I love New Mexico. I've been to Utah a couple of times. I loved it. Arizona is the other four corner state. Arizona's really cool too. Way too hot. Way too hot. That's the only thing that keeps me away from it. But I like its landscape too. Is that cowboy country, Max? Yeah. I mean, historically, it's definitely cowboy country. And yeah, there's people who have a lot of ranches down here. And cowboys and such. It's not near a city. Yeah, it's not. That's the thing. I live in like a small mountain town. I usually don't like saying it online because I just want to keep it precious because it's a very precious town to me in a precious region, but. It's in like southwestern Colorado, I'll give you that much. Sorry, that's just kind of me. That's a me thing. just like to keep it as precious and isolated and everything as I can, you know. Yeah. But again, yeah, if you guys have heard of Santa Fe, New Mexico, it's only 2.5 hours from there. So I go down there every once in a while to hang out. My dad's side of the family is from Santa Fe. So I grew up going there all the time. So yeah, the Four Corners are just the best, but Colorado's the best of the Four Corners, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, what else? What else are you guys curious about? Yeah, feel free to look up Colorado. A lot of beauty to be seen. A lot of beauty. So how do we start letting go of the struggle? How do we start letting go of the beliefs that struggle is the only way to go, is the only way that we can actually allow ourselves to move forward in life? Because when I was living in New York City, I lived in Manhattan, New York City, for 7 years as an actor, and I was very much caught up in the rat race. Working hard, self-sacrificing. I had a lot of fun too, and it was definitely one of the greatest times of my life. And the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. It really had the full spectrum. Chewed me up, spat me out. I left when the pandemic hit. But I got into that work harder than everybody else and struggle, and nothing in life ever comes easy, because right out of high school, when I was still a Catholic in religion, the closest thing that I could find to navigate myself to that was helpful or resonated with me, because I've always been a big dreamer and I've always wanted to do things that are big. You know, I don't want to just live life sort of surface level, and some people do, and that's fine, no judgment. But for me, I've always been a big dreamer, so I fell into motivational speakers and people like that, who are very much about self-sacrifice, work harder than everybody else, you know, be awake when everyone else is asleep. Someone else is always working harder than you, so you got to really, you know, and there's certain values to those, some of those things too, in terms of like work ethic or things that build character, and I think that did do that for me. But letting go of that struggle and feeling that we need to self-sacrifice in order to allow our lives to progress and move forward and actually get things done and be productive is an erroneous belief. It is not the truth. And it's not the only truth. So I always say all truths are true. Whatever you believe to be true is true. So we get to decide what is true for us. So in that sense, all truths are true. So if you believe that that's the way, then that's the way for you. Then that's what you're going to experience. But it's not the thing that you have to stay with. You don't have to continue believing that you need to paddle upstream and work harder than everyone else and struggle and self-sacrifice. It doesn't mean that there won't be challenges in your life to overcome, but those challenges can be fun. They can be exciting. They can be interesting. You can view them with a perspective of it's just a game. We're just playing a game, you know. So, and it's just an opportunity for us to expand and learn something new about ourselves. So it doesn't have to be when challenges come up that they're a struggle, you know. It's all about our definitions and beliefs about what that situation is. So really the quickest way to let go of the struggle is to know that that's not the only truth. And you have to convince yourself with conviction that that's not the only truth, which means you have to start taking actions that convince you and make you believe and feel that that is true also. Because if you don't do that, if you don't take a break, if you don't let yourself take different actions that are much more joyful and effortless and free-flowing and fun and exciting, instead of the ones that are hard and self-sacrificial and things like that, well, then you'll never be able to convince yourself that there's another version of you that is living a much softer, more easy flowing life that is actually getting further down the stream than the one that is working so hard and pushing and struggling and striving. Because the person that is pushing and struggling and striving is not able to see all the synchronicities around them that would actually guide them faster down the stream than that would guide them faster down the stream if they would recognize that those synchronicities were there, if they would actually decide to take it easy on themselves. It's actually crazy. The paradox is that the more that you allow ease to be the thing that runs your life, and excitement and joy and peace and things of that nature, those get you much farther down the path than any amount of hard work and struggle and sacrifice ever will. So that's one way that you can start convincing yourself of that, is that there's no inherent truth of struggle, sacrifice, and pushing and forcing getting you anywhere more productively or any quicker. And actually, I would say the opposite is true, that if you would just pick up the paddles and then allow the stream to take you down the stream, you would get there much, much quicker by taking it easy on yourself, taking the actions that feel inspired instead of forced, and so on. And that actually gets you down the stream faster. The faster you try to go, the slower you end up going, because you hit roadblocks, you miss a synchronicity, you smash into a rock in the river, because you're paddling so fast and aggressively, and you're pushing and you're forcing, that you just smack yourself right into a huge boulder in the middle of the river. Whereas if you were taking it easy on yourself, smelling the roses, enjoying the synchronicities and the journey as it was happening to you, you would have seen that boulder a mile away. You would have easily navigated around it, not smashed into it. Because now the person that smashed into it, that person that's working hard and struggling, sacrificing, forcing, is in the river. They fell out of the raft completely. They're finding a way to get the raft, get the paddles, swim to shore, reassess, get back in the boat, go on, and what do you know? The one who saw it a mile away and was just paddling nice, easy down the stream, saw that boulder a mile away, and now it's literally miles and miles down the stream while you're still there paddling, trying to get to shore to get back in the raft so you can continue going downstream. Does that make sense? I think that's a really powerful analogy and way to look at it. And that's how we can start convincing ourselves that struggle and sacrifice and working hard and pushing and forcing is not the only way to be productive and to get the things that you want in your life. If you want to do that, fine. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not trying to convince you to do so out of some agenda that I have for you to do it. You do it your way. It's all good. No judgment here. You have absolute right to do it that way. If you want to struggle, sacrifice, and do that, you can. But there's another way. There's another way that leads to more productivity. You'll live longer. You'll be more youthful. You'll be happier. You'll be more joyful. So on and so forth. So, does that make sense? Does that resonate? Are you guys feeling everything? You guys are pretty quiet here. Maybe you're just taking it in, and that's fine. But I want to make sure that it's landing for you, because that's like a very powerful way, an eye-opening way to look at it if you're willing to, and if you want to. It's an offering and a sharing, as always. Not something that I feel you must do, but I'm encouraging you to do if it feels right, if it feels good. So let me know where that all lands. Just absorbing, Max. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, you guys don't have to be in the comments. I wasn't trying to say that. It's interesting being over here, because, I am just in a room by myself talking to a camera. I can't wait for the day where I'm actually able to deliver this to you guys face to face, so I can feed off of your reactions. It's just a different experience for me, is kind of what I was getting at. But thank you for Thank you for clarifying that, Charlene. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate you guys just being here. I know if you're here, you're listening. So I just want to make sure if there's any questions that you guys have or more clarity, or if you want to add anything, any momentum to anything of what I was saying, or have me retouch on a certain situation, I'm happy to do any of those things if it's confusing, if it's anything like that. So, yes. Sorry, Reznov, I missed you there. How can we end any kind of fear, the fear of judgment? Great question. I think there's probably several ways, or many ways too. But it really comes down to perspective when it comes to the fear of judgment, the judgment of others on our lives, on the decisions we make or don't make, our passions, our expressions being inappropriate to them, being sinful to them, whatever they might think or judge about it. I think perspective helps the most. So what is that perspective? I will tell you. When people are judging you, trying to put you down, trying to say that you're not good enough, you're not talented enough, that's a sinful way to go. That's inappropriate. I don't think you're going to make it. A lot of people have tried going that route or doing that career and have failed. When they try doing that, when they say those things, or they judge you, or put their 2 cents in, or their unsolicited advice of what they think is best for you, even though they have no idea, because they're not you, it's just their own projections. It really, really, really comes down to it is their own projections of their own insecurities. And a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, it actually comes from a place of wanting to help and assist you. They actually do want what's best for you, and they just think that you're going the wrong way. They think that you're going down a path that is going to lead to you being upset and you being hurt and you being disappointed. But that is still a projection of their own insecurity, even if it's coming from a good place. So that doesn't mean that even if it's coming from a good place that we need to take it on and that we need to listen to it and so on. We don't have to. When we have the perspective that these are just hurt people attempting to hurt you because somebody hurt them, and they feel like they need to balance that out in the universe, and somehow they think that hurting you is going to allow them to feel better about themselves. That's all that it really is. And so when you know that, then you can actually turn around and have compassion for them. You don't have to take anything that they say seriously, because who would take something seriously from somebody who is attempting to hurt you, attempting to judge you, attempting to slow you down or put you down in order to make themselves look better or feel better about themselves, because they're noticing something about you that is challenging their own beliefs, that is challenging their own limitations in their own lives. And when you realize that, you can just have compassion for them, send them love energetically or verbally. I suggest just send it energetically, wish them well on their way, and you can move on. When you have that perspective and you really know that that's where that fear of judgment is coming from, and you realize that the people who are judging you, or that maybe aren't even judging you, and you just have a fear that they're going to judge you, the type of people who would judge you are only projecting their own insecurities. And when you know that, you can recognize that as something that is unwise, that is something that is unhelpful. They're going through their pain and their struggle and their problems, and that's fine. That's fine for them to do. It's okay for them to go through. But it doesn't mean that it has to slow you down on your path. And it will if you buy into their judgments, or if you don't even take the actions that you want to because you're afraid of what your brother, your sister, your aunts or uncles, your parents, your teachers, your whoever is going to is going to say about it? Who cares what they say? If someone has something bad to say or a judgment to put on you, then why would you want to listen to their advice anyways? It basically neutralizes it when you have that perspective of knowing it's just their projections. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Got it beautifully explained. Thanks. Oh, good. Thank you for that question. Keep them coming, people. Keep it coming. I love answering them. When did you learn about Neville and his teachings? I would say it was probably around that 2019, 2020. Probably around 2020 and beyond, Charlene, I believe. Yeah. I would say it's around that time, but I didn't even really get into it. I read this entire book that I read to you guys probably around 2022, I would say. So I would say that's when I really started getting very into Neville Goddard. And please tell me, are you enlightened? Please tell in yes or no, please. No. I'm not enlightened. I don't think I would still be here if I were enlightened. I think once you're enlightened, you're probably ready to leave by the time you're enlightened, or maybe a few years down that road. I think once you're there, the master within will allow itself to just ascend. That's how the ascended masters who we look up to did it. They became enlightened, and then when they decided their time was up, then they just ascended. And that's how they became the ascended masters that they are. So I think, if I were, then I would be, I would assume that I would live enlightened for a little while. I mean, in the scope of time, maybe 10 or 20 years, who knows? I don't know. But then I would probably take off after a while, move on to the next journey, move on to the next phase of my own soul's evolution, you know what I mean? So yeah, no, I would not say that I'm enlightened. I'm still learning and growing and implementing so many of the things that I've learned, even as I teach them and share them, I share from my own experience and so on, but yeah. I like the boat paddling example, thank you. Absorbing and listening, yep, thank you. Can you explain the ego death? Yeah, absolutely. Now we got Mo in here too. What's up, man? How you doing, my friend? How's it going over there? How's the studies? How's the tests and exams and everything else going? Hopefully you're taking that weight off your shoulders a little bit, pressure from others. I think everything that I just explained would help you a lot. So you might want to go back in the stream either now or once I post it later. Maybe to like the 40-minute mark and beyond. I think it would really help you if you just got in here. But the ego death, sure. First, I want to lay the foundation of the ego that. Okay, this will be an explanation that you haven't heard before. You're really gonna like this. So first, I want to lay the foundation about the ego. First of all, that it's not a bad thing. The ego gets a really bad rap. So many people demonize the ego as something that shouldn't be there, shouldn't be a part of our human experience. It's actually a great tool. It actually can be a great friend and companion along your journey, because the ego helps keep you grounded as a human in life. It helps keep your belief systems grounded and continuing to perpetuate them. It really helps ingrain them into you. So it's not a great teacher or leader. You don't want it to let it be the lead, but it's a great supporter. It's not the CEO, but it's a great receptionist. It's a great partner in crime. Because you can actually train the ego to be your very best friend. You've just trained your ego, and the reason people seek out the ego death and try to push away the ego and get rid of it and kill the ego and just live as a human without an ego, is because they're getting stuck in the beliefs that they have taught the ego, and the ego has kept it within them in their belief systems and is grounding it and solidifying it within them because it's what they've taught the ego is safe and that works for them, because at some point in their lives they experienced a trauma or they experienced something very scary or freaky or uncomfortable, and they needed to shut themselves down or hide away or play small or pretend that there's somebody that they're not in order to get through that uncomfortable situation that was going on at that time. And that's not a bad thing that happened. A lot of us in those formative years, we get bullied. We need to, we have parents that maybe are abusive, or somebody in our life that is abusive or creates some sort of traumatic experience for us that we needed to shut down and do certain things. But we never reconciled with the ego that look, that's not who I am. That's just the circumstances. That's just what those circumstances required at that time. But I don't need those anymore. So when people talk about the ego death, they're really talking about finding a way to allow the ego to be a companion, to be like your little doggy that's man's best friend, only wanting to support you in what you choose to believe. So I don't think, if people are saying that the ego death is something where the ego just does not exist in your life anymore, that's not my definition of an ego death. My definition of the ego death is working in unison as a companion with the ego, training it with belief systems and the outlook on life that you choose to have and the outlook on yourself that you choose to have, and teaching the ego that is safer than playing small. That is safer than wearing a mask that isn't who you really are. That is safer than fill in the blank that you've taught it is safe from certain times. It's just teaching it it's teaching it who your authentic self and expression is. And that's going to continue to evolve as your life goes on. So you'll always be upgrading the ego, just like your software on your computer. You're always going to be updating it throughout your life because you're always learning something new about yourself. You're always expanding and growing in who you are and how you see your life and how you have relationships around you and your relationship with yourself, your relationship with God and your reality. You're always learning something new. So there's always something to update the ego with in that sense. So to me, that is the ego death. Learning to have it as a companion and a friend, not something that leads your life, because lots of people have the ego completely leading their life because they don't know why they're feeling what they're feeling. They don't know why they're doing what they're doing, and they feel powerless, and so they need something to blame outside of them, like the ego, as an excuse to not actually deal with the beliefs and definitions that they have themselves as the creator of their reality, as the actual boss and CEO of their lives. They're giving their power away to this ego thing that they think is in control of their life when it isn't. So that's what my definition of the ego death is. It's just finding a way to train it like your little doggy, your little man's best friend, to allow you to be more of yourself. And it will solidify those beliefs once you teach it that it's safe to do so. And that it's safe to behave in these ways, it's safe to think in these ways, it's safe to take action in these ways, that it's okay. And then once you teach it and train it that, it will listen. It will listen. But you do have to put that intention and effort to training it on something different belief systems, upgrading that software in the way that you prefer. It's always just that software update. So if you're feeling like things are, like you're feeling resistant to things, you're feeling like fear is way too heightened right now, It's just the ego trying to protect you. That's all it is. So you can always thank the ego. Be like, thank you so much for trying to protect me here. I know that you're wanting to do this for a good purpose, but we don't have to be afraid here anymore. And let me show you, because I'm going to take this leap of faith. Even though, ego, you may not like it, I'm going to do it anyways. And you're going to see that it's actually not that bad when we take that action, when we have those thoughts, when we do these new things that are outside of the box that the ego is in, because of the box that you created for the ego to stay in and keep you in. So I hope that makes sense. Great question. Have you heard about Osho? I have heard about Osho. I'm not sure what to think about Osho. I think I saw like a documentary where it was like very, like it was like a cult, right? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have heard about Osho. I think I saw a documentary on it that was not looking like it was great, but I'm not sure. So I don't know enough. I just feel like somewhere in my memory bank I saw like a documentary on Osho and it was like very cult-like, so I don't know. But yes, I have heard of Osho. All good, buddy. What about you? How are you doing? I'm doing great. Doing what I love to do here. I'll be back to streaming after 2 months. You're starting to stream again? Is that where your passion and excitement's leading you, Mo? Is to some more streaming and revamping the stream? That's great to hear. Let me know more about it. What are you going to be doing? Understanding the software upgrade analogy. Yes. Good. Glad it resonates. That's a great question. Yeah, Wild Wild Country. Yeah, that was it on Netflix. That's right. That's what it was. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm like, dude, that was some crazy stuff. So yeah, anyone who has like followers believing or doing things that they were doing there, yeah. At the same time, you know, he doesn't really have control over that, but he kind of does. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to explain. I don't really want to get too down that rabbit hole right now. It's all good. But yeah, that was the one. Thank you for reminding me. Wild Wild Country. Yeah, I watched that years ago, I think. Thanks for explaining, Max. You're very welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for asking the question. Yeah, like streaming is like a passion. That's what's up. Do what you're passionate about, bro. Fucking do it. Do it. That's awesome. What are you saying you're going to start 2 months from now? Are you not able to start right now, Mo? Because the sooner you can start, even if it's not fully there, at least you're starting to take those actions now, you know? Do you know about Kundalini chakras? Have you heard about it? Yeah, just like the chakras, the crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and root. Is that what you're talking about? I'm assuming that's Kundalini, all the way up the spine, that Kundalini energy. I haven't looked too much into those kinds of things. I haven't explored it a whole lot. What's your view on it, Rez? Are you into the chakras and focusing on that modality and those permission slips? My exams will be over after 2 months. I'm just waiting for it to be over. Do you have to wait for it to be over? Like, can you do a little bit of streaming, even if it's just 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day, after you've done whatever studying you need to do for your exams? Because, man, I don't want you to have to wait 2 months to start taking those actions and doing, starting that up again. I know streaming is a kind of a long form thing, but if you could start baby steps, 1 or 2 hours a day, or maybe 5 or 8 hours a week or something like that. Yeah, I can explain it. No, I'm not. Yeah, the chakras, it's not my forte right now, at least in my current explorations of everything. I think the chakras are another tricky thing that I like to call Machio, where they can be spiritual distraction, they can be spiritual bullshit a little bit. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I think there's a lot of, things about the chakras that can be very, very beneficial, but I think that's something that also people can sort of use as a crutch or use it in a way that isn't so productive sometimes. I think it's just one of those spiritual terms and those spiritual things that can get like a little bit over spiritualized, over complicated, overemphasized, instead of just going within and discovering what definitions we have about ourselves and our reality that are keeping us from feeling the way we want to feel or doing what we want to do. We don't have to say like, oh, this chakra is blocked up and that's why. Whether it may be true or not, and you can explore that if you feel excited about it, and I might too. Chakras are an interesting thing and an interesting concept to think about. But I think it's one of those things that can sort of start to muddy the waters and overcomplicate things when it's really just about what definitions about myself do I have that would maybe giving me a reflection that is making me feel like I have a chakra blocked or my kundalini energy is stuck and things like that. So, people go to a lot of different like Reiki healers or chakra workers or something like that and pay a lot of money to get their chakras cleared by this person. And I think that could be a little bit tricky. But by all means, do what you feel called to. Go with your inspiration. That is just my perspective, so take it or leave it. If it works for you and that resonates, then keep it. If you want to explore it, then do what you gotta do. But that's just my perspective, so I'm not trying to poo-poo anything, but I'm just kind of speaking from my perspective about that Machio that I like to talk about. Are you doing a guided meditation tonight, Max? Yes, I absolutely. Yeah, I was going to get into that next after these little topics and after questions and things like that. But yeah, I want to continue on that path. For sure. Yeah, I just heard about it. Yep, I feel ya. Yeah, not something I'm totally into right now. My games are locked currently. I can't stream it. Why is that? Why are they locked? Mo. Why are they all locked up? Okay. Alright, Max, see you tomorrow. Thank you, Rez. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good night's rest over there. I know it's getting pretty late. So yeah, have a good night. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for your questions. Start taking those actions and whatever inspires you. But thanks for being here, man. Good to see you again. Oh, my parents locked it because of my exam. Well, damn. That's a bummer. Well, that's the path. I mean, you can always have a conversation with them about that too, It's always out there. Yep, much love, Rez. Thank you, bro. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, where are we at right now? Hour and 25 minutes we've been on here, so yeah. We can get into the meditation. Okay, thank you. I'm kind of getting used to your voice, lullaby, sleep real nice. Yeah, I'm gonna start. I think what I'm gonna start doing for my YouTube videos here and there, Charlene, is doing some of these meditations or some kind of something for you guys to use. That'd be kind of cool, right? I think a lot of people would gravitate to that. Maybe that would allow me to have my first viral videos to do some meditations, some Neville Goddard meditations, guided Neville Goddard visualizations, right? That could be kind of cool. After you said I had a conversation with them, they said it's a matter of time. You can bear it. Okay, yeah, gotcha. I do it inspires you. Here, Mo, you can use your imagination for this too. You know, you can imagine what it feels like in your imagination if your parents were to say, "Hey, go ahead and play. You've been working really hard on your exams. We unlocked your Twitch, your games and stuff." What would that feel like if they said that to you? I know that seems like probably an unlikely situation. I get it. But if you could play around with it in your imagination and start playing with it and just imagine what that would feel like if they gave you permission, if they unlocked it, and just like feel that excitement and relief that gives you, that's an imaginative act that you can use to influence this situation and shift to the version of Earth and the version of yourself that is experiencing your parents allowing you to, even though you have these exams to study and blah, 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 you could shift to the version of your parents that recognize your hard work and allow you to have your game unlocked as a reward and as their appreciation for you in your hard studying. You can do that, man, by the way. Why don't you just play around with that? Give it a shot. At night, in these meditations, commit to yourself to do that, because you can change that situation. You don't have to wait the 2 months. I'm just saying, and this is just a suggestion, but you don't have to wait around for that 2-month period. You can start using your imagination right now in that sense. And maybe this would be your step, dude. That kind of gets me excited for you, because we don't have to wait for reality to change to give us permission to do and be what we want to do. We can give ourselves the permission, and we often do that through first accepting it as true in our imagination so that we can actually see it out pictured. So Mo, why don't you give that a shot? Will you do it for me? Just for fun? Don't have any expectations or insistence that it needs to happen or it has to happen by a certain time. But just in your imagination, feel what it would feel like if your mom and dad called you and said, "Son, you've been doing great work in your studies. We're going to unlock it for you. Have fun playing the games. We trust you. We know you're studying hard. We know that you'll be able to balance this. There you go for it." Okay? I'm also kind of bummed that I always miss the last half of the stream because I'm in dreamland. I know you always fall asleep. That's funny. Yeah, you can. You'll be sleepy. I feel you. You can always go back and watch it, but I know it's nice being here live in real time with you, Troopy. They said it's a matter of time. You can bear it. After just 2 months, I'll go to France for further studies. Then I'll live my life full on. Cool. I mean, good to know. Do what you want to do, but this is something that you could play around with in these 2-month time. Even if it happens in the last month or the last couple of weeks that you have, if they give you that permission, that's still like a manifestation that you did for yourself, and you got those 2 weeks back. Yeah, I'll try before sleeping. Perfect. Yes, you'll see your reality when you believe it. Yeah, I know, but this is just a great example to, because there's no limit on what you can create for yourself and what you can manifest for yourself. There is not. So you might as well give it a shot, if there's something like that, like limiting you and doing something that you're passionate about, well, then just imagine yourself doing what you're passionate about now. You can also, if it seems like too big of a jump or hurdle to have your parents say that to you in your imagination, you could also just imagine yourself streaming and how good it feels to be streaming, because that implies the wish fulfilled that they've done that for you as well. So there's a lot of kind of different angles that you can take. So just experiment with it, tweak it where you need to, and play around with it to see what imaginative act seems the most believable that you can buy into the quickest and so on. You know what I mean? All right, cool. So we're at the hour and a half mark. I'm gonna take a quick little break. Give you guys time to get comfortable, lay down, grab tea, do what you need to do to be comfortable, not have anything on your mind for the meditation and visualization. And then we'll be able to go. All right, does that sound good? So do what you need to do while I take this little break. Get your blankets, your pillows, your drinks, use the bathroom, silence your cell phones. Tell people you're doing what you're doing and have them not bother you. And then we'll go on to this and we'll say goodnight to Charlene as well, because she'll be out like a light afterwards. So I'll be right back, guys. right, we all ready? Ready for the meditation. Just want to thank you in advance, Maxwell. Really thank you. I am so grateful to be part of your community and reality. Aw, you're so sweet. I'm grateful to have you as a part of the community and my reality as well. I love that we can connect in this way and that I can add value to your guys' lives in any way, shape, or form. Even in these early times of the live streams and my channel and so on, these are very valuable times. Alright, so let's just relax. We'll do a 15 meditation. After I relax you down, we'll do that full body relaxation as always, and then we'll go into the visualization for someone complimenting us on what we're wearing. Just continuing to solidify the technique, doing it in the first person, what it takes, what we need to do in our imaginations, and then what we need to do after the fact as well. And what we can start noticing after the fact too, which I want you guys to share with me as you start to experience that. So, alright. Everyone just get in your comfortable position. Do any last minute little tweaks you need to do. Lay back, sit in a comfortable chair, lay down on a comfortable couch or bed. Get nice, warm, and cozy. Start taking some deep breaths and just start connecting with your breath and noticing the cadence of your own breath right now. Don't need to do anything to change it, just start noticing it. Close your eyes. Giving yourself 15 minutes of your life to letting go of thought. That's our only intention here, is to let go of thought in this meditation. Clear our minds, clear our vibrations, do the spring cleaning or the fall cleaning. And we'll take a deep breath together through the nose, hold at the top, and exhale through the mouth. Let's take that in now. Inhale, hold, and release through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, hold at the top, and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, expanding into your belly and diaphragm, then into your chest as full as you can. Hold at the top. And exhale. Just feel the relief that each one of those breaths gives you. And with each breath, as you continue to breathe in this way, feel with each breath that you're getting deeper and deeper, sinking deeper and deeper into the bed or into the chair you're in. Just keep breathing in this way, breathing in through your nose, filling up your diaphragm first, breathing into that as fully as you can, then letting it expand your chest, holding at the top for 2 seconds, and exhaling through your mouth. Soha Cook, hello. We're doing a quick meditation if you want to jump in. Everyone else, just keep connecting with your breath in that way for a few more breaths, and then we'll go into the relaxation. But good to see you, Soha Cook. Hope you're doing well. You just met up with a meditation that we're literally just starting, so if you want to just jump in, lay down, get comfortable, and join in, feel free to do so. Otherwise, if you want to hop back in 30 minutes or more, we'll be done with the meditation. We're going to go into some visualization as well after the meditation, so it could take up to an hour. If you have an hour to give yourself here, that's what we're going to give ourselves here. All right, everyone, just keep breathing. Notice what's coming up. Notice what thoughts might already be coming up and start letting those go as we go into the relaxation of our full bodies here. Feel free to breathe in whatever way feels comfortable. If you want to keep doing that breath that I guided you through, continue to do that as long as you need to. Let's start bringing our attention to our feet. Let's relax our toes. Give everything permission to relax. Relax the toes, relax the balls of your feet, the arches of your feet, and the heels of your feet. Breathe into these areas, allowing them to relax. Now relax the tops of your feet. Moving up to your ankles, relax your ankles. Relax your shins and shin bones. Relax your calf muscles. Relax your kneecaps. Front and back of your knee. Relax your entire knee. Moving up to your quads. Relax your quads, big muscles of your legs that carry you around all day. Give them permission to relax. With each breath that you take and each intention you have to relax, each muscle you sink deeper and deeper into whatever surface is supporting you right now. Relax your hamstrings, which are on the back side of your quads. Relax your glutes. Moving on to your hips and your hip flexors. Relax your hips and your hip flexors. Relax your pubic bone and your genitals. Moving on to your abdomen. Relax your abdomen. Continue to let the source of your deep breaths be brought into your diaphragm and into your abdomen first, as deep as you can, then allowing the rest to fill up your chest. Relax your lower back. Relax your mid-back. And now relax your upper back. Your upper back, which contains your rhomboids, your latissimus dorsi, your lats, your scapula. Continue moving upwards to your trapezius muscles, the traps of your neck, those muscles that connect the column of your neck to your shoulders. Relax those. Many of us have a lot of tension in those areas. Continue to be conscious and aware of your breath and begin to let go of thought even as we do this. This is like the warm-up for the meditation. Now relax your chest and your breasts. Relax your collarbone. Moving on to the shoulders, relax your shoulders down and into the surface of whatever you're laying or sitting on. Moving on to your triceps and your biceps, the muscles of your arms. Relax your elbows and your forearms. Relax your wrists. Relax the palms of your hands. And relax the fist of your hand, the top side of your hand. And now go ahead and relax your fingers and thumbs and just allow it to naturally curl in towards your palms. Go ahead and notice anything that we may have already relaxed. If it tensed up, give it attention and relax it back down. Remember, each breath that you take sinks you deeper into the meditation, deeper into the surface that you're on. Let's move our attention up to our throats and the columns of our neck. Relax your throat muscles, your vocal cords. Relax the back of your neck. Now relax the back of your head and imagine a string is pulling the back of your head along with your spine straight up, lengthening your spine. Move up to the top of your head, relaxing the top of your head. And just imagine the top of your head flipping open like a lid, open to receive everything that is good and of good rapport. And imagine all the thoughts as clouds leaving the top of your head for the time that we're going to give ourselves in this meditation. We don't need to give ourselves any attention to any thoughts that come up in this time. Let's move down to our foreheads and relax our foreheads now. Relax our eyebrows. Relax the crease between our eyeballs, that third eye area. Relax that tension. Go ahead and relax your eyeballs and your eyelids. Let your eyeballs feel like they're sinking towards the back of your head. Relax your temples and your ears. Relax your jaw muscles and your chin. Relax your nose. Relax your lips. Relax your teeth and your gums. And lastly, relax your tongue. Let it drop from touching the roof of your mouth and just hang there and retract. Just have an open, slacked jaw right now. Your lips may come apart. Give yourself a full breath through the nose. Hold at the top. Squeeze a little bit. And relax. Exhale through the mouth. You can continue breathing in that way as much as you want in the meditation, or breathe in whatever way feels best to you. But go ahead now and just bring your attention to your breath. Just focus on the feeling, sensation of the inhale and the exhale. If it works better for you, you may also focus on a drone that you may hear in your room, or the ticking of a clock, a fan, air conditioner, or heating system that may be running in the background. You can give your attention to something very boring and mundane like that as well. Whatever, when you focus on it, allows your mind to settle the easiest. I'm going to begin the timer now for 15 minutes of meditation. Just keep focusing on that breath or whatever you choose to focus on. Each breath just sinking you deeper and deeper into the meditation. Deeper and deeper into the bed or chair. Just notice if your mind is racing, or if you're concerning yourself with what you're going to do after the meditation is done, or if you're upset with yourself about anything that you did or didn't do today. Just give yourself this time to let all of that go. Again, this is just 15 minutes of your day, of your life, that you're allowing yourself to drop all thought. That's our only intention. Plenty of time to deal with thoughts that need to be taken care of after the meditation. But give yourself just 15 minutes. If thoughts begin to come up, just let them float by like clouds and bring your attention back to your breath, or the ticking of the clock, or the drone in the room that you're focusing on. Feel free to focus on the music in the live stream as well, whatever soothes you. 13 minutes left of the meditation, and I will leave you now to your meditation, and I will let you know when it is up. Enjoy. We have just 5 minutes left in the meditation. Give yourself just 5 minutes of your life to completely let go of thought here. 5 little minutes. right, the 15 minutes are up. Excellent work. Continue to just bask in the feeling that you've achieved from dropping thought, from relaxing your entire body, from breathing deeply. Take some nice deep breaths. Exhale. And stay where you are because we're going to go into visualization technique, Neville Goddard technique. If you're new here, we've been gently playing with the intention to manifest somebody complimenting what we are wearing. Something very simple, easy to believe the possibility of, something general and mundane. Using this as a training ground, building the muscle of belief in these techniques and in the laws of the universe that are always working in our lives, and using it intentionally and playfully. So I'll guide you through options. I'll guide you through what you need to be achieving in feeling and in the sensory vividness of your imagination in the first person, in your imaginative body. So keep your eyes closed. Take a moment to start feeling into your imaginative body in the first person, not seeing yourself on a movie screen from the third person, but seeing through your imaginative eyes in the first person. Start feeling into that. Rub your imaginative body's hands together like you're getting warm in front of a fire. Crack your knuckles. Pat yourself around your body and on your face, just waking up the senses in your imagination. Start waking up those senses. Be easy about it. Don't force anything. Don't try too hard to make anything a certain way. Just start feeling into that imaginative body. Give your hair a little pull. See what that feels like. Now I want us to take our imaginative body that we've just come into to a location. Whatever location feels like would be the most likely, that is most believable, that you may receive a compliment in this area on something that you're wearing. Whether it's your necklace, your earrings, a shirt, a dress, shoes, pants, shorts, bikini, bathing suit, so on and so forth, whatever you may be wearing. What is the location? And you can play with it. You don't have to be tied to it, but just for the sake of this exercise, choose a location that you feel like you go to in your day-to-day life, or at least maybe once or twice a week, where you find yourself and where you think it would be very believable, very probable that if you were going to get a compliment on something that you're wearing, it might be in this place, in this location. Now I want you to establish this location in your imagination with all your senses. See it, hear it, smell it, taste it, and touch it. So just start to notice what this location feels like. Are you inside? Are you outside? Can you feel the weather, the sun on your skin? Gentle breeze moving your hair, brushing over your skin. Are you barefoot on sand or on grass? Are you wearing shoes? And then what are the sounds of this area? What sounds do you hear? Is it just the low drone of people talking and going about their lives? Is it certain clanging? Are there chimes going on? Dogs barking? What's going on in this location in terms of what you hear? And then what does this location smell like? Do you have any smells, like the smell of seawater, the smell of a grocery store or a clothing store? What are the smells? What do you see around you? What's going on? You don't have to get too specific with things, but generally, what's just going on in this area? Start to see it, start to hear it, start to smell it. If there's any taste in the air, give that attention. And then how do things feel? Are you touching anything? Can you feel the touch of the breeze, the touch of the sun, the touch of the lighting if you're indoors? Just establish this location and feel free to play with it. Whatever feels best, most believable to you that you'll receive a compliment in this area. Now let's go ahead and just give attention to what are you wearing right now? You don't have to manipulate it into a way that you're wearing anything super unique or special in order to sort of manipulate people into, or manipulate your imagination into people giving you a compliment. Just wear whatever you're wearing. But you can also wear whatever you think you might have a strong chance of getting a compliment on. Just don't manipulate it too much to where you're being too drastic. But you want to establish that belief too. It wouldn't surprise you if you got a compliment on something that you're wearing. So just notice what you're wearing, how it feels on your body. Is it a flowy dress? Is it tight pants, yoga pants, loose fit clothing, fitted clothing? Can you feel the necklace or the bracelets or the rings or the earrings that you're wearing? Actually feel it on your body. And just notice how you feel in this outfit. Just notice how you feel wearing this outfit. Feel free to wear something that makes you extremely confident, that really represents who you are. Again, you don't have to be wearing this exact outfit on, or none of these exact situations of location, what you're wearing. None of this has to actually go down in real life as it goes down in your imagination, but this is just to create the energetic blueprint and signal and feeling. Now let's bring your attention to what are you doing in this location. Wherever you are, what are you doing? Have it be something simple. We don't want it to be too many frames. So those old film strips where you can stretch them out and see all the different frames, each individual frame when you stretch out that film. We really don't want it to be more than 10 frames of movement. We're not trying to make this long, no longer than 15 seconds, because we want it to be simple, easy to recreate, and easy to loop in your imagination over and over again. So just give yourself an action. Are you at the grocery store feeling out the different ripe fruits or vegetables that are best? Are you doing that? Just touching those. If you are, feel those. Feel the ones that are ripe. Feel the ones that are not good. Or are you just looking for something on a rack? If you're shopping, are you moving the shirts around, hearing that little screech when you move the hangers on whatever they're hanging on? What that sounds like? Are you just sitting on a park bench? Are you walking your dog in a familiar place that you walk your dog? Whatever you may be doing, Just have it be very simple. Give it all the feeling. Feel yourself actually walking the dog or sitting on the bench or doing whatever you're doing. Remember, no more than 10 frames of movement, something just very simple you're doing. And feel free to play around with it. You can jump from, as you continue to tweak this to your liking after the fact. You can tweak it to different locations, different everything, but let's just go with whatever you're choosing and feeling right now and run with that for now. And give it all the sensory vividness of reality. Really feel it. Remember to be from the first person, see through your own eyes. Just keep looping that action. Get used to it. And now I want you to imagine that somebody comes up to you, doing whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing it, wearing whatever you're wearing, and gives you a compliment on something that you're wearing, or gives you a compliment on the entire outfit. Feel into that feeling of flattery that you receive when you hear this from this person. Who is this person? Is it somebody that you know, surprising you? Is it a complete stranger? Whatever's the most believable for you, and however you want to play with it. Are they male? Are they female? Are they young? Are they old? Somewhere in the middle? What do they look like? What does their energy feel like when they speak to you? Sense into that as well, the interaction. And go ahead and assign to them whatever they're going to say. Hey, I really like that necklace you're wearing. I think those are really cute shoes. I think that's a really dope shirt you're wearing. Have it be simple, not too many words. Feel what it feels like to receive that compliment, that feeling of flattery, appreciation, gratitude, thankfulness. And then just turn to them and see them and say something simple like, thank you so much, really appreciate that. And see them moving on and see you going right back to whatever you're doing. But now that that's happened to you, whatever you were doing, you're doing that a little bit differently because you just received a really flattering compliment from someone who's really kind. And that feels good. So whatever you're doing has just been enhanced by this compliment, by this interaction. And then I want you to just loop that scene. Replay it over and over and over again from start to finish at whatever pace feels good to you, keeping it short and sweet, sensing into it, feeling the flattery, feeling what you're doing in real time. And then loop this until you fall asleep. If you feel like you're on the verge of falling asleep right now, go ahead and do that until you fall asleep. Because when you fall asleep, your subconscious seals the instruction that you've just given it through your imagination. That's why we like to do this before bed. If we're going to choose one time to do it in our day, let it be before bed. Just have fun feeling into looping it. Just give yourself some time to do that right now. To start feeling it and playing with it. Again, feel free to tweak it where you need to tweak it. Do whatever you need to do. Just give yourself a couple minutes. Then we'll come out of it. We'll talk about what we feel, what challenges, what questions, what clarities you may need, what you noticed in the meditation that led to the visualization, and so on. But give yourself another minute or two. All right. Just start to feel your way out of that, or feel free to keep looping it if you're feeling in the groove. But give yourself a big stretch, deep breath. Grab yourself a drink, grab a notepad if you feel like you need to write anything down, any breakthroughs, epiphanies, ideas that came in the meditation or the visualization. Let me know what you guys are feeling. Chat it in. If you have questions, need clarity on anything, if anything cool, any feeling really came to you, or anything like that, feel free to share it. Let's add momentum to that and really solidify it so that you believe it even stronger. Let's build that momentum. So share whatever you feel. All these techniques are just to get us into that state of feeling that what we want is already real. That's why we do those imaginative techniques and practices. Just to establish in us the feeling of that reality. Because that reality already exists in real time. You're just training yourself. Training yourself into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Just stretch it out. Feel back into yourself. Soha Cook world, feel free to drop in if you stuck around or if you have anything to share. But nice to meet you. Thanks for saying hello as we were going into the meditation. Welcome back, everybody. And there's lots that we can do to start training ourselves even deeper in this practice. Things that we can do in our imagination that don't necessarily have to have the intention to manifest anything, but we could start feeling into our senses by feeling different kinds of things. So what I like to do is I'll feel like a tennis ball and feel what that feels like. Move on to feeling like a bowling ball, a baseball, a basketball, a volleyball, a soccer ball. Those are just kind of universal things that we've all felt at one time in our life or another. And I just feel into that, and just start feeling what it feels like to grab that with your imaginative hands. And that starts training that muscle to really help you to start feeling into your imagination, not just seeing it on the movie screen, not being able to not quite touch it. If you are really familiar with the feeling of walking barefoot on the grass or on the sand, just start doing that in your imagination. Whatever is the easiest for you to start bringing feeling into. That's going to help you a lot, just to be like a little bit of a training ground. Just takes attention. It just takes some attention to do it. But it's all good. Lisa, hello folks. I'm late again. Been working overtime today. I'll redo the meditation on replay later at bedtime. I missed half of it. Oh, that's all right. Lisa, it's good to see you again. How you been? How you doing? It is all good. Better late than never, I always say. But that is the nice thing. You can either rewind it now, or when the video is posted afterwards, you can always go back to it and check it out. I'll be creating some YouTube videos in the future as well, doing some of these guided visualizations or a guided meditation into a guided visualization and so on. I think that'll be pretty valuable. And just have like some B-roll, I'm thinking, and do some voiceover kind of thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's where the inspirations lead me with all this, but good to see you here. Been working overtime though, huh? So yeah, and the reasons I'm doing this on these live streams is just to show you how really simple it is. It's not something that's complex or complicated. There's a few things that just takes getting used to, building that belief system, building those muscles in our imagination to where it really allows us to feel the reality of it. Because then once we establish those feelings, we're going to start seeing the breadcrumbs and synchronicities in our waking life as we go about our day. We're going to start noticing ourselves just acting a little differently, behaving differently, responding differently to things that maybe used to trigger us or upset us. We'll be talking or walking with a different cadence because we start associating ourselves with the version that's already living the life that we want to live, or already has the things that we want to have and experience. And before we know it, because we've trained it and felt it so real in our imagination, we actually start naturally behaving in that way that we do in our imagination in real time and in real life. And that's the fun of it. And then we get to just see the unfolding, enjoy the journey to its becoming and to the realization of it, because it's going to be happening in perfect time and timing, not second late, not second early. Perfect timing. And then we start, when we see the synchronicities, the little breadcrumbs, the little hints and the winks from the universe, saying, look, keep going, this is the right direction, here's a synchronicity, a little sign, keep going. And then you get to enjoy it. You really enjoy the journey, you enjoy the preparation of the meal as it's being prepared. It's like you're in the kitchen as someone is cooking up a meal that you love. You get to smell all the smells, you get to see all the little pieces that go into the fulfillment of the entire meal being made. That's what you get to see in real reality. And it's so fun to do. It's so fun to start intending something, seeing something, believing it is real, feeling into it, and then start seeing the synchronicities and breadcrumbs that are in the signs that are showing you it's on its way and you're getting closer, and keep going in this direction. And it makes it so fun, It makes it a blast. Good to see you too. I have changed my YouTube handle from Argy bargy. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay, thank you for that. Because I know there had been a Lisa in here before, but I can never remember all the names or all the tags. Okay, so you're Argy bargy. So Lisa. Okay, I didn't even know that was your name. Cool. It's quite exciting that we can do this. Just knowing we have the power to change things is so great. Yeah, it really, this is what creating your reality is all about. That overused phrase that people say, I mean, that's what it is. It's how we actually put that into practice and truly believe it and buy into it and everything. So cool. Good to know, Argy bargy. Yeah, it's getting a little late over there in Scotland. Not too late, right? You're like 8 hours ahead. A little late night work. I need to get out there and start bagging my own Monroes over here in my area soon. The weather's getting so much nicer and warmer that I'll be able to start going up into the mountains. Yeah, 10 p.m. Yeah. Yep. Okay, yeah, you're 7 hours ahead. Right on. Yeah, I mean, feel free to go back, look at this. It was like an hour, that whole meditation and visualization. Put you right to sleep. Again, I don't know if you were here, Lisa, but for the intentional manifestation we're doing for the having someone compliment something that we're wearing, just something very simple, very believable, very achievable, something that's not outside of our belief definitions of what we think we can manifest and what we can't. Just taking these baby steps to show and prove to ourselves that these things work, these techniques work, the laws of the universe are always working, and that we can intentionally manifest anything in our life. And then we can start moving towards the bigger things that we want to see in our lives as well, because we've established the belief through these little manifestations that we have that are believable. So that's what we're working towards now, we're playing with now, just simply allowing it to be, having fun with it, being playful with it, and seeing where it goes. So yeah, just having someone compliment what we're actually physically wearing, a shirt we're wearing, a necklace, bracelet, shoes, whatever we're wearing, and just playing with that in our imagination and feeling that reality, feeling the flattery from it. And then when it happens, we'll be able to recognize, look, that was because we consciously intended it. It wasn't something that we unconsciously created. It was something that we consciously created. Yep, simple and also fun, right? It is fun. It's been a blast. Some people are getting a little bit of synchronicities as well, I believe, last stream that I had. And it's just great. And yeah, there's no timeline, so no deadline on this, no timeline, no rush. We'll just see how it unfolds, who it unfolds for, how it unfolded for them. And then that's going to build up our belief too, and it's going to help build their belief and establish their belief too. And when we give them props for doing it. So we're all just helping each other out in that, so that we can start using this for bigger and bigger things, like relationships and careers and houses and cars and locations and whatever we're looking to go after. But we're starting with these little baby steps. A lot of times people jump to the big things way too quick, and it's tough to just jump from 0 to 100 right away. So we're just taking the baby little steps, playing with it and having fun with it. So, and it is simple and it's fun. And we'll be able to really appreciate that compliment when it comes. It's going to be like oh my gosh, like an aha moment. It's going to be like way more than if it just happened sort of unconsciously. It happens as an unconscious thing that you didn't really know that you were manifesting. But now we're bringing the consciousness to it, which builds that belief even stronger, baby. I had a chance to experiment with it this weekend. My car broke down on Friday night. Okay. So were you just kind of at home a little bit more, or had a little more time and attention to this, or were you experimenting with a different manifestation about the car? Yeah, that's interesting. This has also been good for people who are just like wanting to start their meditation practices too. If they need to get the ball rolling on that, it's a nice opportunity for that to start taking place as well. So it's been very, very, very fun and gratifying and rewarding so far. Yeah, we're much closer than we think. Much closer than we think in a lot of these areas. I have a breakdown cover which includes a courtesy car, and the company organizing the courtesy car were not very efficient, let's say. I had to stop and visualize things working out for me. Oh, I see. Nice. That's great. Isn't that great? You could just do it with any situation that you want in life. It doesn't even have to be a manifestation of like an object, but just a situation going a little bit smoother or something like that, you know? That's great. Sounds like a little bit of Neville's revision technique as well. You know, an opportunity to revise that situation how you would have liked it to go down, and just accepting that as the way that it went down and moving on with that belief. You know, that's also his revision technique as well. Seems like in progress. That's awesome though. Thanks for sharing that. That's great. It is. That's just a perfect example of just how we can use it for any little mundane thing in our lives. We can do it with anything. There's no limits. So just start having fun with it. Start practicing on all these tiny little things that normally you'd brush or write off. You'd brush right by. You'd start, you'd get caught up in and try to take all these crazy actions or force things to go in another direction. You can start taking these little opportunities to start building the belief and using it for these manifestations, and then that just grows your belief and grows and grows. The result was the Nissan dealership came through for me. The salesman gave me his own car to use until Tuesday. Is that right? That is a perfect example. I love that. Yeah. Who would have had that situation where the dealer himself, the salesman himself, gives you his car? Like, that's super unique. Congratulations on that, Lisa. That's really terrific. And that's just how it works, you know, things that are unexpected. Like, who would expect a salesman to loan their own car to you in that situation? That's just the cool, unexpected things that start to happen when we assume the wish fulfilled. We start being more intentional with our lives and our thoughts and the things that we hold in our imagination to be true. All these like unexpected twists and turns and happenings, things you would never expect it to happen in the way that they happen. Yeah, so many cool things. And then you get to just see like, wow, this is what's possible. Things like this, and it makes life fun and exciting and interesting again, you know? His guitar was still in the trunk, a top spec. I don't know what that is, but sounds great. Top spec guitar, all right. So he even left his valuables in there. That's how much that's how much the universe will bend to your will, is that people will just still leave their valuables in there. It doesn't matter. The universe just bends to your will. Isn't that dope? That's awesome. What a great little manifestation. I love it. And I love that you applied the technique, and it worked quick too, you know. So sometimes these things manifest like right away. Again, right when they need to. Not a second late, not a second early. So if you got things that are going on, just like Lisa's saying, get on it. Get in your imagination and just see what happens. Don't put the deadline on it, but, it's going to deliver to you what you need when you need it. And as soon as you get yourself to that believing place, it'll happen. Because the universe knows when you need it, if you truly need it. So if you really, really need it, it'll happen. So jump on it. Jump on it as quickly as you can. Perfect example by Lisa here. Had a situation, had some contrast, something that wasn't ideal, jumped right into her imagination, and boom, it all just worked out for her. That's just so fantastic. That just really, really pleases me to hear all that. That's amazing. Truly, truly amazing. Nope, the car was not the guitar. Okay, yeah. A quash. I have no idea what a quash key is. Must be something we don't have over here in the States, or that I'm just not aware of, ignorant about. I actually had a time deadline and it still worked. Yeah, it's like you had the time deadline, but what I'm wanting to point out is that when people like say, look, I need it by this time and put in the pressure like that, you don't even need to ask those things. Like those things will just naturally start to happen when you just assume that wish fulfilled, because the universe knows the exact time and timing. So a lot of people actually get in their own way when they put those timelines on. So yeah, perfect example that like you may have had a deadline sort of like back there, like, oh, I know this kind of needs to like happen by this day, but I think my point is that you weren't insisting, you weren't putting too much energy on it that would create resistance in you or make you feel rushed or anything like that would then kind of get in the way of it just naturally coming. But that's great. It's like, I guess you can like have the sense in your imagination, the sense in your consciousness that, yeah, ideally like this needs to happen by this time. But as long as you're not attached to that deadline, as long as you're not attached to that time frame and so on, and you just trust that it'll happen, then it'll happen by the deadline anyways. So I guess it's really what I'm getting at is like that attachment to a deadline. If you could be soft about a deadline and not like, oh shit, like is it going to happen? You're waiting around for it. You're getting anxious about it. That's when you start resisting it, and that's usually when it won't happen, because there's too much resistance, and then the doubt starts creeping in. But yeah, good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Yep, I agree. I didn't focus on the timeliness. I surrendered and trusted it would work out one way or another, and it worked. Dude, that's awesome. That's so cool to hear. A wonderful example. Really appreciate that. That builds all of our beliefs, and awesome for sharing that. That's so cool. What will you do next? What will we do next? You know, it's like when we start having that happen and recognizing that it happened because of our intention, it's like, what's next? What do I want to do next? It just starts being so fun. And you realize like how powerful you really are and how easy it actually is. It's just about the belief. Once you believe, I mean, everything just happens. You know, you don't got to figure out the how or the why or the when. It just naturally starts happening, which is the dopest of the dope. Yep, perfect. We're on the same page. That's awesome. We are much, much closer than we think to so many things that we want in life, so many manifestations that we want to see happen. It's all right there. Everything changing in our lives, us finally having that breakthrough, us finally acting on our passions and excitements, us finally not just intellectually understanding how something works and believing in the possibility of it intellectually, but putting it into real practice in real time with full belief. So many of us are so close to that breakthrough. We all understand things on an intellectual level most of the time. Most of us understand so many principles in our lives. We understand intellectually so many things that we need to do and take action on, the definitions and belief systems that we need to change or tweak or let go of or implement that would allow our lives to change. We all know that intellectually, but we haven't quite gotten to that place of full faith in knowing that it can happen for us. It's not just a good idea intellectually that feels good anymore. It's actually a strong belief in knowing that it can happen for the individual who is thinking it, who resonates with those beliefs intellectually. So we're all like, we're so close. We're so much closer than we think. We are on the cusp of completely resetting ourselves and resetting our realities to where things are going to start scrambling, may look a little bit messy for a little bit, but that's just because life needs to sort of scramble up a little bit to get you to go in the direction that you're asking yourself and the universe to go. So don't be surprised if it does get a little bit messy, a little bit scrambled up. Just stay in the eye of the storm, stay grounded through it, know that it's happening for a good reason, that is guiding you to where you're wanting to go. It's not something bad that's happening. It's not something negative. It's not something you did wrong and that's why it's happening. Because people say, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm believing this thing, and my life's kind of getting worse. Like it's getting all messy and weird and scrambling around and I don't know what to do with it. That's actually a good sign. That's actually a sign that you're right on track, that you're doing everything right. So define the messiness, define the scrambling and a little bit of chaos that may be necessary to guide you into the timeline and into the reality that you're choosing. Define it positively and you'll be able to have a positive effect from it, and then you'll be able to navigate those happenings and those experiences and synchronicities, because they are synchronicities. You'll be able to navigate it with grace and excitement and anticipation and positivity, neutrality, peace, whatever. You'll be able to navigate it in that sense. And then you'll just start seeing your life unfolding, and you'll see soon enough, sooner than later, why all those things had to get a little messy, a little chaotic, scramble up for a little bit. It's because everything had to sort of, it's not always like a seamless transition. It can be sometimes, but you'll see why exactly it needed to happen. So I hope that makes sense and encourages you guys. You're so much closer than you think to that breakthrough. A lot of us just have the self-sabotage loops. Yeah. Self-sabotage loops. Where maybe we do understand something intellectually, but we just don't quite believe that it can happen for us yet. We don't quite believe it's possible, so we keep self-sabotaging. We keep buying into the old belief systems of the old identities that we've already let go of because we've already noticed the habit and the actions that the old self and the false self, with the old definitions and the old beliefs that kept us small and kept us in the Groundhog's Day and in the bubble and in the box that we've been in that safe little box. And we go right back to those and start self-sabotaging because it's what we feel is benefiting us. So even though we've recognized the habits that we have, we're not letting that be the end of the process. And we think that there's more to discover past the habit. When there's not. When you discover the habit, it's the end of the process of letting go of the habit, not the beginning of it. From there, you're choosing consciously to continue taking actions on the habit because it feels safe. You have some definition or belief in yourself in that circumstance, in that definition or belief that feels safer and more beneficial and preferential to you. And you just need to discover why you feel that. Why do you feel like taking these actions on this habit that's not a habit anymore because you already recognize it's a habit? Why do you feel like you need to keep taking actions on those behaviors of that old habit instead of taking actions on things that are more of who you are? And then once you start asking yourself those questions and answering them honestly, you'll see how nonsensical they actually are when you think about it. And you'll be like, why was I ever thinking that in the first place? I'm going to start thinking this way. I'm going to start behaving in this way. And then the reality will start changing because you're changing. You're not waiting for the outside to change. You change because you're the creator of all of it unconditionally. Does that make sense? We are much, much closer than we think. You're not that far away from your breakthrough. You just keep resetting yourself back to that beginning point, which is the old identity. You just keep resetting yourself back to that. When things don't go exactly how you thought they would, when you have an expectation or insistence that a certain outcome needed to happen, when you changed your belief or you had an intention to manifest or whatever, and then when it doesn't happen exactly, you freak out, you think something's going wrong, and then you go right back to that reset button every time, back to that self-sabotage loop, and then you keep perpetuating that, you keep wondering why things aren't changing, why things aren't working for me, instead of trusting that things are working for you. Even what you're manifesting right now is working for you with the current belief systems and definitions that you have. It's working perfectly for you. You're just manifesting something and living a reality that you don't prefer, and you're doing that perfectly. So if you're doing that perfectly, you can perfectly do something else. You created this life that you don't prefer right now, you can create one that you do prefer. That simple. That simple. Yes, it does. Good, Lisa. Really appreciate it. So much of this is what you brought out of me because of you talking about what you're talking about, so I really appreciate you. But yeah, glad it all resonates. This 100%, right? Then it just like give you that relief. If it gives you that sense of relief, drops your shoulders a little bit, makes you breathe a little deeper, makes you feel a little more hopeful, like you really do have more control over your life than you think, then let that carry you. Just let the feeling of that resonance and that relief be what carries you into the next belief system that you want to buy into that lifestyle that you want to create, into that creative expression that you want to take action on, into that self-expression that you've always wanted to express yourself as. You've always known that this was your real expression when you're with your friends, your parents, your coworkers, just out in life. That's your real expression, but you've been too afraid to. If these ideas give you a sense of relief, just go for it. Just go for it. No more waiting, no more fence sitting. Now is the time to take action. The world's waiting for your gifts, for your talents, for your skills, for your history, your experience, things that you've gone through and are going through, and sharing them either verbally or just sharing them through your vibration of the example that you're being in your life. The world's waiting. In the sense that, people really need it. The world doesn't necessarily wait. Reality doesn't wait because it's always moving. Reality waits for no one. The world doesn't wait for anybody. But the people who would benefit and who need and are asking for your gifts to be shown and your personality to be a reflection of who they are and so on and so forth, they're waiting for you. No more fence sitting. It's time to get off that fence. Truly. Because in the times that we're in right now, as fast as everything's going, with the increase of everything that's going on right now, the more you fence sit, the more anxious you're going to be, because you're going to be seeing how fast things are moving all around you while you're just still sitting on the fence, too afraid to take the actions that you need to take, that are really who you are, that are really your gifts, just because you're afraid of the scrutiny of others, you're afraid of failure, you're afraid of the judgment, you're afraid that you'll be wrong or you'll be incorrect, you're afraid you won't be the person that you thought you would be or thought you could be. You'll make all these excuses, just stay on the fence, and then you'll be miserable just watching life go by you, watching technology and everything fly by, continue on, the world keep going, people around you getting what they want and enjoying their life. You'll be seeing that all from just sitting on that fence, and then you'll start beating up on yourself, shaming yourself, doing the guilt spiral, and then it really gets tough from there. You think it's actually easier to sit on the fence. It's actually way more arrogant and difficult to make the action of just fence sitting and not jumping on the actions that would take you in the direction of your passion. It's way, way more difficult to do that than to actually go in the direction of your choosing. You've just convinced yourself that that's not the case. And you just got to ask yourself why. It's the only good thing you got to ask. Why do I believe what I believe right now? Why do I think that sitting on the fence is more beneficial than taking action on my passion, on my joy? Why do I feel that? Because I know the naturalness of who I am as a spirit, as a God, as source energy, as the universe itself, finds it much, much easier to go with the downstream flow of who I am and take the actions as little as they are, take those baby steps. It's much easier to do that than to force yourself to stay on the fence because you're afraid. It's much easier to start taking those actions. You're actually choosing out something very, very difficult by choosing to stay on the fence and not take action. That's the most difficult choice of them all. Somehow you've convinced yourself otherwise because you feel like it's keeping you safe or benefiting you in some way to do that, because you won't be judged, you won't be scrutinized, you won't be deemed as inappropriate. But those things are so fleeting when they happen. No one gets away from judgment. If Jesus and Buddha and all them didn't, you're not going to either. So don't let it stop you. Those things will pass. They're lessons. They're reflections of us that need to be dealt with. Those judgments, when they happen, they're just lessons. They're just opportunities to reflect on what part of you is in agreement with the judgments of others that they're projecting on you. Some part of you agrees with them or thinks that it's true, or you wouldn't be experiencing it. So you just got to find out what that is. And then when you do, you're going to see how nonsensical it is when you actually bring it into the light of your consciousness. You'll see how nonsensical it is, how silly it is to think such a thing. And then you'll be more easily able to let it go and move on, move in the direction that is who you are. It doesn't have to be so hard, doesn't have to be so difficult. It's really not that difficult. You're at the right place at the right time right now in your life. There's nothing more important going on in your life. There could be nothing more important in your life than what's going on right now. It's important. It's important where you're at. It's important what you've lived to become who you are. It's important what you're going through. It's important where you're at right now. So you don't need to negate where you are. You don't need to judge where you are. Judge yourself for where you are in life. Where you're at is very, very important. Very, very important to propel you to the next step up the ladder, the next step in your own evolution and expansion. It's extremely important. So don't convince yourself that it's not. Once you glean the lesson and the information that this spot in your reality where you're at right now is, you'll be able to move to the next step. But without doing that and appreciating your now, appreciating who you are now, appreciating the step that you're on now, you won't be able to move to the next step. You'll feel stuck. You'll keep self-sabotaging. You'll get into loops that you don't prefer, and so on. So start taking those little baby step actions right now. And appreciate where you are, who you are, what you've lived up until this point. And you'll find yourself in a new reality sooner than later. Just be okay with yourself. It's okay. Who you are is okay. You're enough right now. You don't need to go out there and become anything. You already are who you're seeking to become. You're just covered up in so many layers that make you blind to who you really are. To who you are already. You don't have to become him or her. Just let the seed within you blossom. That's who you are. It's ready to. It's right at the surface, ready to peak. With all the nutrients, all the knowledge, all the experiences that you've lived up until this point in your life. It's ready to blossom. It's ready to flourish. It's ready to bear fruit. You just gotta remove all the rocks that are so heavy on the surface of your consciousness that is keeping that seed from penetrating the earth and blossoming and bearing that fruit. You're carrying way too much weight that isn't yours. You have so many rocks and rubbles on the dirt of your consciousness, the soil that is already fertilized of your consciousness, to where it can't penetrate the surface. Who you are can't penetrate the surface. It can't see the sun. It can't see the light. Because of all the rocks and all the resistance and all the layers that you've put upon yourself that have hidden who you really are and hidden your gifts. So just start removing those rocks one by one. And you do that by starting to take the baby actions that allow you to express more of yourself, day by day by day. It really does not take more than that, my friends. All right? So I'm going to leave you with that today. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Thank you for sticking with me in the meditation, the visualization. Thank you for doing that for yourself. Keep me posted on how it all goes, where it all goes. I got a lot more content ready to be produced. I'll be out there doing that this week. More live streams to come, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. But I am finding a way to add 2 more. So this week I actually did 4. I did a Friday one, and that was great. So I'm going to do my best to start implementing these 5 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week, these live streams. Give myself the time that I need out in nature, creating content for the YouTube videos that I produce for you guys. So check those out too. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet, if this all resonates with you and encourages you and gives you value. I'd really appreciate it. Go follow my Facebook page so I can get that to 100. That would be great. I'll throw that in here real quick for you guys here. I got to get to 100 followers on this Facebook page in order to be able to go live from it. So if you guys don't mind, you can always just turn off the notifications on the page, but would appreciate it if you just follow that page for me real quick. It'd be doing me a real solid so we can get Facebook users in on these live streams as well. So we'll be on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook all at once, which will be a blast. Thank you. This was great. Much love to you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Thank you for your sharings. Good luck with everything. Let me know if anything new comes up. Yeah, don't work too hard. I know you've been doing a lot lately. And we'll see you guys in the next live stream. Much more to come. We're just at the beginning. We're almost to the couple more days, and we're at the 4-month anniversary at the beginning of this channel, right as we're about to cross to the 500 subscriber mark. So that's gonna be fun. We'll celebrate that together. Maybe we'll do something special this week on a live stream or something. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think on that. But thank you so much. Much love to you guys. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, I will. Thank you really means a lot to me. Thank you. Really appreciate you. And good seeing you again, Lisa. Thanks again. We'll see everybody on Tuesday, unless we do a surprise one again tomorrow. We'll see if I can squeeze you in. All right, much love, guys. Peace.